the Chief of the Defence Force and the service chiefs and the Secretary of the Defence Force will not tolerate conduct which is inappropriate, conduct which is sexist, conduct which vilifies women, or conduct which is inappropriate in any way that goes to the dignity and the civility of workmates. As a general proposition, ADF defence personnel need to be very careful to understand that in the modern day, the modern Australian Defence Force has standards, and the breaking of those standards will not be condoned. Defence Force personnel, whether they've been in the Defence Force for 8 weeks or 8 years, also need to understand that things which are done privately and discreetly may well be regarded by the community as appropriate, but they're not regarded as appropriate either by the community or the Australian Defence Force if they're done in public. And we saw examples of that, for example, in the Giles report in the HMAS Success inquiry. The point I'm making there is that in the modern digital world, things that you do on Facebook, or things that you do online, or things that you might put on Skype, effectively become or are public. And we saw recently with inappropriate remarks made by Australian Defence Force personnel on Facebook, which became public and brought the Australian Defence Force and Australia into disrepute. So conduct of the nature I've described cannot and will not be tolerated. Let me make this comment. I've spoken about modern Australian community standards. The Australian Defence Force is not the only organisation in Australia, is not the only part of the Australian community where individual personnel from time to time might fall short of those standards. Some people might say from time to time it includes members of my noble profession or the media. So let's keep this thing in its context. The Chief of the Defence Force, with the full support of the Minister of the day and the government, wants to ensure that we have a culture in the Australian Defence Force which reflects the modern day, particularly as that relates to treatment of women. That is a very good thing. Have we made progress in recent times? Yes, we have. Is the Australian Defence Force perfect on that front? No, it's not. There's more work to be done. But let us keep all of the examples we've had of ADF personnel falling short of those standards in their proper context. The context of this matter is a federal police inquiry into alleged conduct of a number of young cadets at the Defence Force Academy. Is the issue concerning? Yes, it is. Does this issue raise very concerning aspects of Defence Force reputation or reputational issues? Yes, it does. Am I treating this matter seriously? Yes, I am. Am I making sure that every aspect of it which is raised with me is dealt with formally and appropriately and reported to me? Yes, I am. And as I said earlier to the earlier question, I'll take it step by step in a proper, thorough way.